with Dola, nigga. Yo, so this video, right? What is this video about? Today, we're gonna talk about some economics. We're gonna talk about how money works, some simple, basic economic principles that most people really don't know, which is surprising. Yes, we're talking about economics because on this channel, I could talk about literally anything. The next video could be on biochemistry. I'm that smart. But, so, what I've realized is that most people do not know how money works at all. People don't even know what money is. So we're gonna start from there. What is money? First of all, money is just an idea. Money is just a medium. Money is a medium of which people exchange value with. That's all money is. And what people have to realize is that money has no real value. The only value that money has is that we believe it has value. There was a point in time where money actually had value. It was linked to gold. It was linked to silver. You could trade in money and go get gold. But since the late 1970s, I believe, money was de-linked from gold, and all it is literal paper. Money is no different from this napkin right here. It's no different at all. If the government decided that this napkin is how we're gonna pay for things now, this napkin would be just as valuable as money. So that's the first thing that you need to understand about money, is that it's not real. It doesn't exist. The people who print money, they try and give you some bullshit explanation about how they just can't print unlimited money, but they literally can just print unlimited money. That's exactly what they're doing. Why do you think inflation is so high? 75% of all the money that's ever been printed has been printed in like the past 2 or 3 years. But they get you to believe that, we can't just print unlimited money. That's not how it works. And they'll give you some bullshit snake explanation about how it doesn't work. But they literally can just print money from the sky. It doesn't exist. All that numbers of, the national debt is this, we owe trillions of dollars, nigga, that shit could be paid just like this if they decide to put numbers on a screen. None of that shit exists. That's the first thing you need to understand about money. Second thing you need to understand about money is that second thing you need to understand about money is that a lot of poor people always say, why can't we just tax why can't we just tax the rich people more? The rich people aren't paying enough taxes. Why am I paying so much in taxes? First of all, that's your first mistake. Because rich people don't pay taxes. This is the biggest scam. Well, not even a scam, it's just the biggest ignorance. Because people are just ignorant to this shit. Because they don't teach you this shit in school, obviously. Why would they? Because you're supposed to be a worker drone forever. But the first thing you need to understand about how to get rich and making money is that the rich people do not pay taxes at all. Uber has never paid a tax dollar in his life. Nike doesn't pay any tax. All these giant companies, they don't pay taxes at all. I hope you know that. They don't pay taxes at all. And this is what they don't teach in school. When people say, tax the rich, tax the rich. It's impossible to tax the rich. Why do you think they have so much money? They don't pay income tax. They don't pay federal tax. They don't pay none of that shit. And how do they do this? Let me give you a little secret right here. Rich people, they don't own anything. It's the difference between poor and rich people. Rich people don't own anything. But poor people are always trying to, I'm going to buy that car. I'm going to put it on my name. I'm going to buy that crib. Rich people don't own anything. They'll own a company that owns another company in like Portugal, which owns their main company. Like, you see how it works? They own a company that owns another company that's in a whole different country where they don't pay taxes in that country. So all the revenue gets funneled to that company in a different country where they don't pay tax. And then that company is what they use to buy things. You realize that all rich people's assets are not in their name at all. Rich people's assets are in a company or a shell company or a trust fund. Because why? Because you can't tax somebody that doesn't own anything. You can't tax somebody who's not making direct income. All of them are not making direct income. They're companies making the income. But they're not making any income, so how can they pay income tax? See how that works? This is what poor people don't understand. But some people do. Well, I got into a car accident with this guy driving a BMW, and then when the papers and shit, they gave me the papers, it came out that his car was owned by his company. He gets it. They don't own any direct land themselves. Nothing is in their name, so they cannot be taxed, bro. Even if shit is in their name, it's in a whole different country. They have bank accounts in whole different countries. Like, bro, you cannot tax rich people. So get that out of your mind right now. If you're still paying taxes, then you will never be rich. Another thing is, rich people will forever get richer. People always say the rich get richer and the poor get poorer, but I don't think anyone's ever explained why even that is. The rich will forever get richer because the rich people have put themselves in a position where poor people need them. You can't live without Amazon no more. You can't live without Walmart no more. You can't live without Apple no more. All these big companies will forever make rich people rich because they made poor people dependent on them. Let's just say you get a stimulus check, like everyone got a stimulus check in COVID. But oh my God, my government cares about me. I got a stimulus check for $1,200. Oh my God. What are you gonna do with that money? 99% of the people are gonna go splurge that money on bullshit. They're gonna go order shit off of Amazon. They're gonna go buy some designer bullshit. They're gonna go whatever. But all those companies that they're spending the money on is just making the rich people richer. This is like me giving you money and then you just gave it right back to me by buying some shit from my company. It's an endless loop of the rich people will always get richer. There's nothing that you can do that will stop rich people from getting richer. This is why you need to put yourself in the position like the rich people where you will always get richer no matter what. Only difference between a rich person and a poor person is that a rich person has assets. When you understand money, you understand that you can never work your way to be rich. It doesn't matter how many hours. You could work 24 hours a day for 30 years. You will still never be rich. Rich people understand that you need to de-link your time from money. You need to de-link you directly putting in your time and energy to get money. If you're getting a paycheck, you will never be rich. You need to use your money that you do get to buy assets versus a liability. Now, what is an asset? If you don't know what an asset is, bro, oh my God. But what is an asset? An asset is anything that generates you money. I have a business. That's an asset. It generates me money. I could be sleeping. It's going to generate me money. I could be working out. It's going to generate me money. My time does not correlate to how much money I'm getting from my business. This is what poor people don't get. Well, they think that you can work and save your way. First of all, with inflation and everything, you cannot save. If you're saving, you're losing money, bro. You're losing money. Every single day your money's in a saving account. It's going down in value ever so slightly. Why? Because of inflation. Because they just print out money every single day from out of their ass. So you cannot save. You need to have your money always fluctuate. You need to have your money in the stock market. You need to have your money in an asset. You need to have your money in something that will bring you more money. Your money can't be sitting there stagnated. If your money's in a saving account, it is going down in value every single day. That's another thing that rich people understand about money that poor people don't. It's all a mindset at the end of the day, because poor people live in a scarcity mindset. They're scared that if they spend that money, they won't get it back, or they won't get it back for a long time. Whereas rich people know, I'm going to spend that money and I know that I can easily make it back. This is why they're rich. If you're scared to spend your money on starting that business, if you're scared to spend your money on getting that course to learn a skill, and nigga, you will always be poor. So get ready to live your whole life being poor. It's literally simple economics, bro. And it's surprising to me that 99% of the world doesn't understand how this shit works. The people at the bottom get taxed more than rich people. Like, think about how crazy that is. People that's making millions, billions, are paying less in tax than a struggling family that's struggling to pull in $70K a year. And why? Because they understand the system. They understand the game. But most people don't even understand the game. If you don't have a business, if you don't have an asset, if you don't know how to avoid tax, you will always be broke. if you always trying to directly own your income, bro, the income that they make, I think I explained this earlier in the video, but I'll recap. Their income isn't their income. It's a company, it's their company's shell. Like, bro, it's impossible to tax niggas. It's all, fuck, I think it just distracted the fuck out of me. It's all, what's it called? It's a giant for moose. It's impossible to track. It's impossible to tax somebody who's not making income. You can't pay income tax without making income. You can't pay a federal state tax if your company is in another country. But long story short, man. Long story short, what's the most important things in this video? You need to delink your time from money. Money doesn't exist. Money is not real. Money is just numbers on a screen and a piece of paper. It's no different from this shit. Stop get an asset, put it in a company's name so that you don't have to pay the direct income tax. Oh, another thing I forgot, bro, rich people use debt. Rich people love debt. But when you poor people hear debt, they're like, oh my gosh, because you don't know how to use debt. You use debt to buy cars that you can't afford. You use debt to buy houses that you can't afford. You use debt to do shit that you can't afford. You use debt to buy liabilities. How crazy is that? But rich people, they use debt to buy assets. And when you make money when you get a loan and you make money from that loan, you can't pay tax on it because it's not your money. Rich people love using debt. They could have the cash liquid to buy something or to start that business, but they will still take out debt to start that business. Why? Because why would I use my own money when I can use the bank's money? They understand credit. Once you build up a good credit score, you don't have to use your own money for anything. As long as you know you can pay that shit back, then use debt. Because you're always going to be building your credit score up, building up your points, and you're not going to pay tax. That's a very important thing. Stop using debt to buy liabilities, nigga. You need to use debt to buy assets that will make you more money. Now you can use your actual liquid cash to spend on bullshit, or you can use the money that you generated from the debt that you used to buy an asset to spend your bullshit. Stop spending your raw cash on bullshit. You need to spend the money your assets make you on bullshit. That's basically it, bro. Stop being broke. Understand how the system works, nigga. And if not, get ready to be broke your whole life.